A college student has appeared in court charged with forcing a man she met online to have sex with her. Imogen Brooke, who was a lot bigger and stronger than her alleged victim, climbed on top of the man and wouldn't take no for an answer, the court heard. The very drunk, 30-year-old is said to have started riding the man whose protests were going in one ear and out the other. After 15 minutes she then got off him, rolled over and went straight to sleep, leaving the violated man, who cannot be named for legal reasons, lying in bed in disbelief, Southampton Crown Court was told. Prosecutor Robert Bryan said, "She pulled him towards her and said, 'Well, you may be saying no, but your dick is saying yes.' She climbed on top of him and pulled his boxer shorts down. He told the police investigators she is quite a lot bigger and stronger than him and he couldn't move her. He wanted it to stop. He thought saying no would be enough. Eventually it came to an end and she just turned over and went to sleep." Miss Brooke denies one charge of causing a person to engage in sexual activity without consent. This differs to a charge of rape, for which the legal definition is when a person intentionally penetrates another's vagina, anus or mouth with a penis, without the other person's consent. Jurors were told how it was a misconception that the victims of sexual offenses are always female. Miss Brooke denies one charge of causing a person to engage in sexual activity without consent. This differs to a charge of rape, for which the legal definition is when a person intentionally penetrates another's vagina, anus or mouth with a penis, without the other person's consent. Assault by penetration is when a person penetrates another person's vagina or anus with any part of the body other than a penis, or by using an object, without the person's consent. The overall definition of sexual or indecent assault is an act of physical, psychological and emotional violation in the form of a sexual act, inflicted on someone without their consent. It can involve forcing or manipulating someone to witness or participate in any sexual acts. Prosecutor Robert Bryan told the court, "Imogen Brooke caused the complainant to engage in the sexual activity and he did not consent, and she did not reasonably believe him to be consenting. In the public image, a sexual offender is male and the victim of a sexual offense is female. That is a misconception. Misconceptions are exactly that, they are wrongly held views. This court, in due course, may use a different word, that word being stereotype, a widely held but fixed and oversimplified image or idea of a particular type of person or thing. In relation to sexual matters, that short skirt worn by a woman, is she fair game? Is it only a rape if the woman is covered in bruises? A male with an erect penis, that morning erection, does that happen because men are sexually aroused? Stereotypes have no place in criminal court. This case must be tried on criminal evidence and not on stereotypes. Physical arousal is wholly separate to consent. The two might run in tandem but might run on separate tracks. Just because you are physically aroused doesn't mean you want it. The court heard the two had met on an online dating website and that Miss Brooke was a lot bigger and stronger than her alleged victim. The jury was told the alleged attack happened at her home in Southampton, Hants. Mr. Bryan continued, "After some drinks they went up to bed, where what he wanted was to go to sleep. Miss Brooke wanted to have sex, and was pulling his arm, eventually pulling him onto his back. At the police interview, he accepted he had an erection, but he didn't want to have one. She was on top of him, riding him by leaning on his shoulders. It didn't finish by his ejaculation, but by him losing his erection, and she gave up. She said she had felt horny and wanted to have sex. When she did what she did, he said he just gave up as she was not going to listen to him." Mr. Bryan told the court Miss Brooke denied the charge as she is conscious of her weight, and would never adopt that position. She also doesn't remember the incident happening. Mr. Bryan added, "Consent appears in the charge, but it may well be a red herring, because he is adamant that not only did she have sexual activity without his consent, but he is adamant that she was on top. Miss Brooke's case is that could not and did not happen. With sexual positioning at the forefront of your minds, if he has made all this up, why would a man make an allegation that he knows would be implausible as the one position he knew that they would not use?" Mr. Bryan described the complainant as unsophisticated and naive in sexual matters, before his interview with the police was played to the jury. In it, the complainant said, "She was very drunk and saying she was in the mood. She was horny and wanted to have sex and I didn't, and she kept tugging my arm. She's quite a lot bigger and stronger than me and I just couldn't do anything about it. I can't move her when she's on top because she's a lot heavier than me. She's about twice my body weight, so I can't move. I wanted it to end. I just gave up because she wasn't going to listen to me. I said what I said, but it was going in one ear and out the other. It felt like it went on for ages, but probably no longer than 15 minutes. It felt like a really long time, never ending. I felt violated. I couldn't believe it happened. The following day she had no memory of what had happened. She noticed that I was distant with her, but she didn't know why. She made me feel sorry that I had let it happen in that way. It felt like a punch in the face. Miss Brooke denies one charge of causing a person to engage in sexual activity without consent.